Well, hello, my beloved star mamas and papas. I'm Melissa, and I am going to be the presenter today for our amazing workshop. I am here with the amazing Jamie Kennedy, who is just a parent who I adore. And so she's going to be here with us today. And our workshop is going to be something that's really near and dear to my heart. I really want to take the time to make sure that as Star families, when you come into Blue Star Virtual Learning, that you feel supported and that you also realize that for a lot of you, it's going to be a transition. And if you're a person who's choosing to go the homeschool path, where you're doing it full time, it can be a very big change if your kids have been in traditional school. So that is why we decided to do this workshop because we have quite a few of you who that applies to you. But this workshop isn't just for those who are homeschooling full time, it's for everyone who finds themselves now educating from home primarily, which is pretty much most of America right now. So I hope that this can be something that benefits everyone. So without further ado, because Jamie's only going to be able to be here for a little bit, and so I'm going to just jump right into everything. I'm going to share my screen, and we are going through this workshop that I created for everyone called Practical Ways to Deschool and Educate from Home Anew. And so let's ask ourselves, is this you? I found this picture and it just made me laugh. And some of you can relate to this. You're everything's going on around you. You don't even know if you have a chance to go to the bathroom. So when I saw this woman look like she has to go to the bathroom, I was like, yeah, that might be some of my parents in the community right now. Like, when do I even have time for me? So describe your personal experience, your personal school experience in one word. So Jamie, you're kind of the representative of all things mama and papa. What would you say, how would you describe in one word your personal school experience when you were in school? If you had to use
Ooh,
one word.
just it would vary on age group, but for elementary school, I would probably put miserable.
What about for middle?
Middle school was interesting.
Got it? Good word. How about high school?
Um, Growth.
Growth. I would say if I had to use one word to capture my entire school experience, it would be journey. That would be the word. It was a journey. I saw progression. It was like I went through phases. So that's how I would have described it for myself. So, grand recognition number one. Congratulations, you are not a school. You are a home. In your home, you educate. Tell me how that strikes you, that grand recognition, Jamie. How does that personally strike you hearing that?
It's really we don't have to do things like a school does. We can just do things our own way.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah,
about learning. It's not about doing it in a specific way.
yeah. I think where a lot of stress is coming from for a lot of families is they're trying to replicate what their school has done or what school in their mind means. And it's not the same, And so a lot of people feel pressure to convert their homes, literally physically change the rooms in their homes into a classroom. And for some people, that might ultimately be an effective thing to do. But there's not a pressure to do that, honestly. The biggest thing is you are not a school, you are a home. And there's a reason why we have school buildings, and there's a reason why we have our houses and our apartments and our condos and townhomes or mobile homes, wherever you live. There's a reason that we differentiate those things. And so, what's happening now is that you are choosing to do a behavior inside of your home that is typically done somewhere else. And so, having that grand recognition, I think, will go very far in your development as a family of learners. So, it's time for us to de school. So, what are we talking about when we talk about de school? Well, first of all, D-school is a clever term that's been really developed, I would say, in the homeschool diaspora throughout the United States. It's something that very cleverly a lot of parents have realized they need to do, which is basically redefining what school means for them as opposed to allowing what other people think school is being imposed upon them. So it's a process of basically almost detoxing yourself from the old ways of doing things and kind of going into a new era of learning for your own family. So, what are the benefits? Well, first, it releases parents and learners from the traditional school mindset, which is quite dominant for many of us. It gives families an opportunity to redefine what schools mean to them. It allows a family as much time as they determine best for them to reclaim the learning experience. It creates precious moments of family bonding between learners and their parent educators. It allows plenty of time for learners to discover what activities, topics, and subjects most interest them. And it gives parent educators plenty of time to rediscover their talents and interests so they can learn alongside their children. The grand recognition number two, Jamie. School and home no longer need to be viewed with an us or them mentality. Some learn best outside of their homes, while others learn best within them. What are your thoughts about that?
I think it's definitely true. And I think it depends on what type of learning we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, are we talking about learning? I mean, obviously, we're talking about learning from a book potentially, but there's just so much learning everywhere.
Right.
And some people need more structure than others, but even so, even the people who need the structure the most may not be learning the most in that environment anyway. They might just be the most compliant in that environment.
Right. I see it. I see that. I see that so much. And I think one of the things I can say, as an educator, and I'm so excited. Yes, Director of Education, Christelle's coming in. Yay, Christelle's coming in. What I can definitely say, I have seen as a classically trained teacher, classically trained educator, is that there has been kind of an us and them thing going on between school and home. And it's very unfortunate because both are so essential to the health of a child, to the health of a learner. There's no need to have an adversarial mindset. So, this idea of learning, whether you're learning outside of your home or inside of your home, and then the idea of home, both of those things are so beautiful for a child's experience. And so, what we want to do in this grand recognition is get rid of that whole us or them thing. And also acknowledge that there are some families who learning outside of their home with someone else is great for them. And for other people, it's best to just do it all within. And having that sense of respect and honor for that, I think goes so far. So I have an activity, and we're not going to do it right now, but I created an activity. Hey, Christelle! I created an activity that I thought would be really fun. Now, you have to be very dramatic when you do this particular one. This is like a little bit of acting going on, but it can be super, super fun to do with your family. And I call it the school memorial service. A goodbye. So in this activity, again, it's an option to do with your learners to help them, or you can do this anytime you determine it's time for a new mindset of learning to happen in your home. So how it works is you ask everyone to come dressed in an outfit that they would have worn in a traditional school setting. It can be a sports uniform, band uniform, an outfit they would have worn on the first day of school. They're going to meet in a room where everyone can be clearly heard and sit comfortably. I then want you to distribute 10 sticky notes and something to write with for all participants, including the parent educator. If possible, have everyone sit in a circle or around a table with a large bowl or basket in the center. In the background, play uplifting music or something soothing and not too distracting. On 5 sticky notes, have everyone write positive experiences they would like to see continued from their traditional school experience. On the other 5, have them write experiences they no longer want to see in their new home learning environment. And I should have mentioned again, I think I said one bowl. It really needs to be two. So I'll go back and fix that. But it should be two bowls. So then I want you to go round robin, give everyone a chance to speak, and ask each participant to share their sticky notes aloud if they choose. In bowl basket number 1, place the first set of sticky notes. Put the second set of sticky notes in the bowl basket number 2. Store these later in a container or Ziploc bag as a memento for the experience. Then, after that session is over, together create 5 affirmations celebrating your decision to create a home learning environment together. So, here's a sample of some affirmations. As a family, we will listen to one another and agree to disagree with love, honor, and respect. If we do not know something, that is okay. We will research or explore the answer together. Then, for fun, go make the best cafeteria lunch ever. Pizza is always a hit. Okay. Hello, my Molly. Hey, sweetie. So, what do you guys think about this activity? Do you think it could be fun?
Sound like fun?
Maybe. I don't know. When it's just you by yourself as an only child, it may not feel as dramatic as if you had other kids there. But maybe this is something that you could do with some friends who are also homeschooling. You can maybe pair up with the family or something like that. As you're gonna be making pizza or whatever other kind of lunch that you think is good. The reason why I came up with this activity as an exercise is because I think it is a beautiful way to say goodbye to an old way of doing something. I think what I hear so much in the homeschool world is that some people had some very negative experiences, and that negativity can be an overtone to how they see school in general or how they see learning in their home in general. And so, what I want to do is kind of start detoxing some of that negativity away and looking at things as experiences. So, there were some great things that you want to continue to do, and there are some things you don't want to continue to do. So, let's acknowledge that. Let's be clear about that. Let's be okay with that. But let's also see what's happening as a wonderful thing, a time to create. Christelle, what are your thoughts about this exercise? What do you think we can do with it, play with it? How would you modify it? What do you think?
I think it's a great exercise. It allows you to really kind of figure out where you are and what you're looking to do. You could even throw in including a family mission statement, or for your family, like who you are and the values you want to have as a family. But I love this. It's a nice way to acknowledge what school brought to the table and what that environment brought, but then also recognizing that home can be school, but it has a very nice a vibe to it that's different than a traditional school space. So I love it.
Cool. And you can not do it so dramatic. This can just be like a little session that you do, maybe over breakfast or over dinner. You can just kind of just talk about this to just really kind of set the mindset. So, Christelle, can you read grand recognition number 3 for us?
Sure. Becoming a nurturing and productive learning environment requires absolute patience from all participants, especially the parent educator. Exactly.
Ooh, so Miss Molly, good golly, Miss Molly, I like when you're with us. Miss Molly, what do you think it means to have absolute patience? about it in terms of Apollo or your pets? You're such a good caregiver of the pets in your family. Why do you think, as Apollo's mommy, you have to have absolute patience with your snake?
Does he always do exactly what you want him to do? No. Do the dogs do exactly what you want them to do?
Not all the time. She wants to be shy
He's
this morning,
sleeping.
and that's okay. But let's go to you, Jamie. What does absolute patience in your mind look like? If you have absolute patience.
Um, being able to stay calm and work through something, and even being able to acknowledge when
Give your
just
mama
need
that
to,
look.
where we just need to stop for the moment. And I am not somebody with absolute patience in any way, shape, or form. Especially, and I think my biggest downfall is being in a rush.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll try to do math when I know I have a call in 30 minutes. And even though 30 minutes is usually more than enough time, just knowing that I have that hard stop just adds to my stress, and my patience runs shorter.
Yeah.
Right. That's why
makes somebody else's,
I'm just getting here.
Which makes somebody else's cooperation run shorter.
Right. Right. I mean, that's why I'm literally just getting here, for that absolute patience. I was trying to get him to finish up. I wanted to do something. I knew what I had to do, but then I had to stop for a minute and say, you know what? This is where he is, and this is what he's working through. We were doing math, just so you know, and it does. You end up saying, like, once you're in that space of feeling antsy or trying to rush things along, it gives them a little bit of anxiety, and then they aren't able to process. So a lot of it does come from us as the parent. They vibe off of how we're feeling and how we're interacting with them in the moment.
And I want to add to this for both of you. Please have absolute patience with yourself.
Mhm.
That, this isn't just about your kids. Be nice to yourself. Be patient with yourself. This is not something that many people envisioned themselves doing when they had children. Most people, when they have kids, they see it as it's going to be a village effect. They're going to be getting people to come in and help them with their kids. They're going to be sending their kids off for a while. Like you were kind of conditioned to probably do things a little differently than you're currently doing. So there's been some kind of a shift where this is now becoming something that's been becoming more of a home operational thing. And you need time to adjust. You need time to figure out, where do I start and they begin? Or where do I stop and they begin? Where do I rest and they don't rest? You got to give yourself a moment here to figure out how things are going to go. So if you're not patient with yourself, it's not going to work for you to be patient for other people, because that's how you know how patience feels. It's by giving it to yourself. So that is something I really want to, send out to you guys in love. Is please have absolute patience with yourself. Okay. The next thing I want to take a look at is I want to exercise, and this one we're going to try to do, and modify just a teeny bit because of time. But this is probably one of the last things that you might be able to have time to do, Jamie. But this one, if you don't have any paper or anything near you, you can just do it mentally. I am totally fine with that. But this activity is called In This Place, okay? And in this place, this activity will be done with the parent educators first, but can be done as a family activity later. And then I would love for you to report your experiences back to our cyber room with pictures. So for those of you who are new to Blue Star, let me just kind of stop for 1 second and show you what a cyber room is. Because people are like, what is a cyber room? What is a cyber room? So all members have access to an area. Let's just kind of go here. And so this area is located in the member portal at level 2. So when you go to level 2, you will then scroll down and you'll go to the vibe room area. And VIP lesson planning is the vibe room you want to join. It's the vibe room you want to locate. It's right here. I'm going to go into this vibe room. And later I'm going to be putting up this video because it's being recorded. I'll also put the PPT up, the PowerPoint that I'm using, okay, so that you can go back and watch it on your own. But I want you to come in here and interact more as conscious educators. You can kind of come in here and post your experiences. You can upload videos. You can upload pictures of things that are going on in your home. So please take advantage. Okay? Let's go back to in this place. So then, using a notepad, sheet of paper, or dry erase board, write down an exhaustive list using single words to describe your ideal learning environment. We'll do that for 5 minutes. The next 5 minutes after that, if possible, I want you to use 3 color markers or pencils to identify and circle 3 categories. So with those words you have all scattered around on your board or on your paper, I then want you to go back with 3 different color markers or pencils, and I want you to circle them. So give each category now, creating, and planning a color. So you would maybe give now a green, creating a blue, or planning is orange. And you're going to go back and circle those words. Are you those things now? Are you in the process of creating? So look down here and I describe what now means. Now means there's agreement. You are exhibiting these attributes currently. Creating means you agree as a collective, you are actively implementing strategies to be the attributes now. And planning means you agree to set an intention, create a plan, and implement strategies to become those attributes in the immediate future. So, because Jamie's got a limited time with us, I'm just going to kind of more so explain these activities and actually do them so that we can show her as much as we can. But this activity, I think, is going to be really good to help you all know yourself. One of the things that I can say to you all is self-awareness is super important when you are deschooling. Learning who you are is how you move yourself away from what you've been, okay? And so, guys, tell me, how does this activity resonate with you? How could you use it? Or what would you change about it? It's okay to change some things around and make it more your own. So let me look at it for maybe a minute and then come and give me some feedback.
I think it's definitely interesting, and I think it will make us think a little bit about what we're doing and where we're going.
You know, you're a little low, Jamie. Can you talk a little louder?
Um, I think it'll help us think about where we're going and where we are now.
Yeah,
And what's
absolutely.
important to us.
And I really want you to look at what you're doing now. So often when people are thinking about their education environment, they're thinking kind of far off. Like, well, what do I gotta buy? What do I gotta get? What do I have to do? They don't stop and take stock of what they're doing now. Learning is already happening in your home. You already have stuff in your house. You already have supplies. You already have things. So take stock of that. Savor that moment. Enjoy that moment. Don't always look outside of who you are and what you're doing. You guys have so much right there. So take good stock. Also, creating. You're creating stuff right now. You're planning things right now. You're doing stuff right now. So think about what you're currently making, what you're currently doing. And then there may be some things you come to realize, you know what? This is who we want to be, but we don't even have a clue how to do this. We don't know what, we don't even have no stuff in here to do this. We have to go shopping. We need to go get some stuff in the store and blah, blah, blah. That's okay. So let's make a plan. The other thing I want to point out in here is you see the word agree a lot. You see me say agreement and agree. Why do you guys think I'm putting that word in there? Christelle, why does the word agree keep showing up?
Well, I think it's important that it's what you want versus what is best for your child. So your kids and the ones that you're working with for schooling have to have a voice in this experience, because you need to understand who they are and what's types of styles work for them and what they're looking to do. If they're not really interested in digging into, I don't know, engineering, like that's not for you. Like there's no need to dive into that. So you want to make sure that there's an alignment between you and your child as you're planning your schooling experience.
This is a fatal mistake that's made in traditional school. A fatal mistake. I'm using a dramatic word, but it is fatal. It kills an assignment, it kills an activity when you haven't thought of the learners and their capabilities and their interests in something, because they're not going to engage. And so you
Right.
find that schools are constantly saying, how do we engage them? How do we engage them? Did you ask them? Did you ever stop to ask the children what they are interested in? What resonates with them? And people think, well, there's too many of them. We'll have 55 different things going on. Not necessarily. You can do a pre activity where you kind of get everybody on the same page and you focus on an aspect of something that the collective, for the majority of them agrees on doing. But when you don't have the buy in of your learners, you're really not setting up your activities or initiatives to win. Okay. All right. Let's debrief after this session. So, after that session, you want to ask yourself, what did you learn about yourself doing this exercise? What did you learn about your current learning environment? Ooh, we have people who want to come in here. All right. We have some master students who want to join us. That's great. It's really, honestly, these are things that are for more of our parents. But sometimes our master students, we have some master students who are learning at home primarily by themselves, and sometimes they want to kind of come in on their parents may send them to come in and learn some things and come back and tell them. So they're welcome. We'll let them on in. But so what did you learn about? Hi, Ajira. Hi, Judah. Hi, you guys. How are you? Good to see you. Can you mute yourselves? That'll be great. Okay, so what did you learn about your current learning environment? What are you personally motivated to do after doing this exercise? And then the next thing is, how would you adapt this exercise for your learners? How would you adapt this exercise
Melissa,
for your learners? Hello, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you. We're doing a workshop, and you're welcome to sit in, but we're doing a workshop right now where this workshop is all about the schooling. Like, how do you make your home more of a good learning environment? So this is primarily for parent educators, but you guys are welcome to be here. We're so happy
the
to see
workshop.
you. So we gotta ask you to mute yourself, okay? Got it? Perfect. Thank you, loves. Okay. All right, so we're gonna continue. Exercise number 3 is called creating anew. So again, we are talking through an activity you may wish to do with your family as an activity. For this session, we will again use a notepad, 3 sheets of paper, or dry erase board. In the actual activity, we suggest you use 3 different color posters or butcher paper. Board number 1, decide if your new home learning environment requires a new name. If so, give it one that inspires everyone and has personal meaning. Draw a symbol or images that help bring your name or concept to life visually. Board number 2, create a visual map of your learning zones in your home. Do not limit yourselves and include closets, outdoor spaces, porches, garages, and other safe areas. Determine what happens in those spaces. Have fun with this. Take a tour and even photos. And then board number 3, create a vision board with magazine clippings or actual photos taken. This can be digital and put it in some place prominent in your learning environment. Okay, so let's break this activity down. Okay, so Christelle, what do you see in this activity that really stands out to you that can really help you in your learning environment with your family?
Well, we definitely having a name is important, outside of it being required for us, but having a name is definitely a necessity. But it also allows us to, when they're going somewhere, kids are like, oh, where do you go to school? They own that feeling, like, other than just saying I'm homeschooled, they have a name, so that works out really nice for them. And then the visual map, it's super important, I think, because a lot of people think when you homeschool, you have to have this beautiful table and a beautiful space, and have, homeschool learning happens can anywhere in the house, at the park. And I think it's important that people don't pigeonhole themselves into thinking of their schooling only has to be done in one specific spot.
Yeah.
So I really like that about the second board. And then the third board, having the vision board, is also really nice. And because it kind of gives everyone a focal point of reference to
Yeah.
go back to, maybe on the days when things are a little bit harder, or you're a little bit more stressed, or you're tired. The vision
Yeah.
board's a really nice way of kind of giving you that little pick me up, or a nice incentive and reminder of like, this is why we're doing this.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. And utilizing every aspect of your home.
Hmm.
Sometimes when I'm working with families, I notice that everything's happening like in one room or one space. And then later parents are kind of feeling like, we gotta do this, we gotta go there, we gotta go here. And I think being in a pandemic right now is forcing a lot of people to learn how to better utilize their homes.
Right.
Like some of you have grand spaces and it's not about having a 3,000 square foot home. To me, grand spaces means you have multiple rooms. Okay. So you can convert bedrooms into learning areas. They can be breakout rooms where activities happen. You can reinvent how your kitchen is used. You can have an area of your kitchen or a cabinet where certain things are held or kept, and then people can use that area to do that particular type of station.
Right.
You
I
can,
think it's
yeah, go ahead.
I just think it's important too, because there are some families where they use nothing more. In the beginning, when we started, we used milk crates, and each of my kids had their books and stuff in a milk crate, and they could be anywhere in our house, outside, whenever we had to go somewhere. They scooped their milk crate up, and we kept on going. We didn't have a designated space, so it was nice to get into, oh, we have this beautiful room. But even still, as I created our family room and kind of converted it, my kids still don't use it. The porch, the swing in the back, they're on the play set. They're all over the house still, even with everything. So getting people to know you don't have to have a designated space
Yeah,
for learning, because your house is the school.
it is. And I mean, I think it's so brilliant. You brought in another concept, Christelle, which is creating movable containers and making like mobile workstations where your students can go outside, your learners can go outside, they can go, like you said, to a swing, they can go to a place on a porch, a tree house. They can go
Mhm.
anywhere with that and be able to feel like they're creating a beautiful learning space for themselves. I think it's really great to, at the end, really kind of have that final thing that you're looking at and you're like, this is us. This is who we are anew. And having that kind of ritual, having that kind of experience, I think is so important for the deschooling process because
Mhm.
when I've heard it talked about a lot by people, it's like you're getting rid of something. But what did you create in its
Right.
place? Like, what is there now? You know, education and all the things that we've experienced has been a building block. They've been stepping stones. You've been collecting stuff to use.
Right.
So just because you're starting something new doesn't mean you have to throw everything out you've ever
Right.
experienced.
Right.
And so it's
Right.
really more about picking and choosing
Yep.
and gathering the things from your experiences and saying, okay, from all of these building blocks, from all of these materials, this isn't necessary anymore because I outgrew those pants, I outgrew those shirts, I outgrew those shoes. Now I'm gonna use this stuff though. This is useful. Okay.
Right.
That's really something to take into consideration as a family. Grand recognition number 4. You got this. You got this. I really want you as families in Blue Star Virtual Learning, or if you're here as a guest, I want you guys to understand that you got this. This is you're exactly where you need to be at this time and you are fully equipped and fully capable as a collective unit to pull it off. You know, Christelle, what do you want to offer and share from a director of education perspective and as one of our lead compass guys? What do you want to offer our families?
Well, I can definitely say if you're homeschooling, your journey looks very different than someone else's journey. It's not going to look the same. It's not going to sound the same. It's not going to feel the same. And I think it's important to know that as an educator and each of your children's journey is going to look very different from one another. So I guess my biggest piece is being okay with it being yours and owning your truth for your home and for your experience. Um, Being willing to be flexible with whatever's going on. I have purchased a gazillion different materials and curricula to work with my kids, and some work, some don't. So being willing to throw it out or to modify it and pick and pull, I think those are some really good pieces. And as you're deschooling, it's okay to deschool. Deschool is a great thing. Gives your kids a chance to show who they are. You learn who you are and what your styles are. So I just think utilizing the services of Blue Star, finding education and experience in everything that you do and being comfortable with that. That's what learning is all about.
Most excellent, most excellent. So, community, I just want to thank you all so much for coming to this exercise with us, this workshop actually that we had with exercises in it. We're going to be doing the next one in 2 weeks. It's going to be all about project-based learning and how to use project-based learning to really engage and reduce screen time in your home. Because at Blue Star, we're really big on U.S. families not overdoing things, but having balance. Balance is key to having a healthy, well rounded education experience. So, thank you all who were able to come today. And for those of you who are working and you're going to watch this later, go to the cyber room like we taught you. Put questions there, talk to us, offer ideas and suggestions, and participate that way. It's just as meaningful as if you're here with us live. Okay, so may your light shine on.